And this just in, more trouble for the Flash actor Ezra Miller.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times actors lashed out.
Does Mr. Bale have an anger problem?
Well, certainly John Connor has an anger problem.
For this list, we'll be looking at performers that got into notable physical or verbal altercations. Did we forget an unruly celebrity? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10, Tom Cruise. Do not under any circumstances cross Tom Cruise on a film set.
I don't ever want to see it again, ever!
During the production of a Mission Impossible sequel, members of the crew were caught disobeying strict COVID-19 protocols. This prompted the star and producer to openly scold everyone in a famous rant. Someone managed to snag a secret recording of the speech, complete with all kinds of expletives and stern warnings.
We are creating thousands of jobs, you
Fandango's Nikki Novak says Cruise seemed to be channeling his obnoxious movie mogul character in Tropic Thunder.
Cruise was angry that people were potentially compromising the film during an uncertain time for the industry. You could argue that he was justifiably mad considering that the entire production and everyone's jobs were potentially on the line.
You pull down their pants and you spank their ass.
You spank that ass, Les.
Number 9, Christian Slater. During his initial fame in the 1980s, Christian Slater started to have run-ins with the law.
The extreme always seems to make an impression.
The star was involved in a DUI in the latter half of the decade. In the 1990s, he got into a violent altercation while under the influence. A night out in 1997 turned brutal as Slater attacked multiple people, including his then-girlfriend and the cop attempting to break things up. After taking multiple substances, he hit his partner in one of the darkest episodes of his personal life. He served time for the offense and also spent time in drug treatment.
You kind of clean up your act a lot. You've been sober now for a long time.
Oh yeah, 14 years in October.
While his reputation in Hollywood took a hit following these events, the performer later bounced back with projects like Mr. Robot.
Exciting time in the world right now. Exciting time.
Number 8, Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin's high-profile marriage with Kim Basinger ended in divorce. With the two parents battling over custody of their daughter Ireland, Baldwin's case was made infinitely harder after a voicemail leaked to the press.
You don't have the brains or the decency as a human being. I don't give a that you're 12 years old or 11 years old.
Addressing his child, the actor criticizes her for not answering her phone. The larger rant is a really aggressive message to send to an 11-year-old. Weakening his relationship with Ireland, the performer eventually offered an apology for his behavior.
But Sunday, the 19-year-old model posted this photo to Instagram of her and her father reading the children's book, If I Were a Pig. She captioned the photo, "If I were a pig, I would be rude and thoughtless, of course."
His run-ins with the paparazzi have further revealed his short temper and a number of other incidents. While he's been caught up in a much larger predicament since, the call was once the most controversial event in this man's life. Number 7, Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson maintains a reputation as being one of the coolest guys in Hollywood.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Despite his suave persona, he's also capable of partaking in a little road rage. When another car allegedly cut him off in LA traffic, he decided to take out a golf club in retaliation. Nicholson smashed the other driver's ride in the resulting confrontation. Thankfully for everyone involved, the golfing equipment only struck the car in this story.
Temper's the one thing you can't get rid of by losing it.
The incident was ultimately settled out of court. With then recent events putting him on edge, the performer acknowledged that he wasn't in the right mind when he pulled out his 2-iron.
Here's Johnny!
Number 6, Sean Penn. This Oscar winner made a name for himself as a serious actor, but also garnered a reputation for his testy personality.
So the fact that you can be provoked, yes, that's your own problem. Yeah.
This includes a violent episode where he attacked a film extra on the set of Colors. It happened after the person took unsolicited pictures of him, leading to a 60-day jail sentence for the star. This unfortunately wasn't the first or last time he confronted someone with a camera.
Attention please, during tonight's performance, the taking of photographs is strictly prohibited.
In his personal life, Penn also had a tumultuous relationship with Madonna that included alleged abuse. One apparent episode included tying her up in one particularly harrowing moment. She didn't end up pressing charges, but rumors continued to fly long afterward about his supposed rage. Number 5, Christian Bale. Known to be an extremely dedicated actor, Christian Bale had a difficult time on a certain sci-fi sequel.
The devil's hands have been busy. What is it?
His work in Terminator Salvation is mostly remembered for one particular outburst during the production. The cinematographer Shane Hurlbut distracted Bale during a shot, leading the artist to retaliate with a verbal onslaught.
No, don't just be sorry. Think for 1 second.
His extended speech was released before the film's release and arguably had more of an impact than the movie itself. Delivering his words with gravitas, the furious performer packs an auditory punch and offers up a few unintentional catchphrases.
I was looking at the light.
Oh, good for you. And how was it?
The star later apologized for his behavior and mentioned having patched up his working relationship with Hurlbut.
It was real unfortunate and inexcusable by me, but we're looking at 4 minutes of a 77-day shoot, and the rest of the time was real smooth sailing.
Number 4, Shia LaBeouf. Since his days on Disney Channel, Shia LaBeouf has lived a sometimes destructive life.
And you wrote this movie while in court-ordered rehab.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Which is, did you say, hey, I got this time, I'm going to be in here, I'm going to do this? Was this something you set out to do?
Well, they said you have PTSD, you got to start writing. This is how you get to the solution. The only way out is through. So I started writing all these dark chapters, you know.
He receives rave reviews for dramatic projects and also has frequent encounters with the law. The actor's been arrested for disorderly conduct and public intoxication, notably for interrupting a production of Cabaret.
According to witnesses, LaBeouf disrupted a performance of the musical Cabaret by slapping audience members on the backside and yelling at cast members.
Some of his prominent legal problems stem from his issues with substance use disorder. He's also been accused of assault and other crimes by the artist FKA Twigs.
He'd wake me up and tell me I was disgusting, that I was vile.
All the things that he was accusing you of were absolutely not true.
Nothing was ever true.
While this case has yet to go to trial, the actor admitted to having regrets about his past behaviors. His long-term career remains uncertain in lieu of these violent allegations. Number 3, Ezra Miller. Throughout 2022, Ezra Miller kept making news for a string of bizarre and shocking stories.
But if you ask the numerous news outlets recently, Miller is a deeply troubled person with some very disturbing accusations being made.
The Justice League actor was arrested at a Hawaii bar for disorderly conduct and harassment. This came after an altercation with other patrons, but it was just the tip of the iceberg.
Big Island police have arrested Miller about a dozen times since early March, and they are expected to appear in court this afternoon on charges of disorderly conduct, harassment, and obstructing a highway.
A restraining order was later filed against Miller for an incident where they allegedly stormed into someone's bedroom to threaten them. Other unrelated events include everything from a second-degree assault allegation to grooming accusations. The performer was also given a burglary charge during their time in Vermont.
The Flash star was charged with felony burglary for allegedly going into a Vermont home and stealing several bottles of alcohol back in May.
All of this and more occurred during 1 year, with the star eventually seeking treatment for their mental health. Number 2, Michael Richards. In just one performance, your life as a comic can completely change for better or worse.
I lost my temper on stage.
Michael Richards performed at the Laugh Factory one night, and his career was forever tainted by the appearance. The Seinfeld star turned what could have been normal crowd work into a racially insensitive confrontation.
For this to happen, for me to be in a comedy club and flip out and say this crap, you know, I'm deeply, deeply sorry.
Yelling at members in the audience, Richards started spouting hateful words in a heated exchange. The comedy set put the actor's future in jeopardy after video footage made it to media outlets. Receiving condemnation from everywhere, the regretful comedian still hasn't completely recovered from the initial fallout.
I should have been working selflessly that evening. Most of the time, when I'm in that zone, I am selfless.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Mel Gibson. As an actor and filmmaker, Mel Gibson is no stranger to controversy on screen and off.
I guess I must have been a little overwrought. So, that's what happens. Too much pressure, too much work.
The Passion of the Christ director has been admonished several times for his insensitive language. During a DUI stop, the star gave an anti-Semitic response to a police officer. This happened before phone calls were released with ugly things said to his partner, Oksana Grigorieva.
She filed a complaint with police that launched a domestic violence investigation against Gibson.
Containing threats and epithets, these recordings were widely condemned by organizations such as the NAACP. The resulting onslaught of media attention did no favors for his career.
I mean, this is absolutely a death sentence to Mel Gibson's career.
Despite the fierce criticism, Gibson is back to acting and directing for the foreseeable future.